Hey guys, it's Colleen here, and I'm just going to be talking about the small business loans as associated with COVID-19 relief funds. So what it is that there's three different types of loans. There is there's a grant, and then there's a forgivable loan, and then there's a loan that you have to repay. And so based on these things, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what they are. So the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program Expansion, it's a mouthful, otherwise known as EIDL. There is a $10,000 grant that you can apply for, and that'll come out probably more quickly than the other loans. That is a forgivable grant, okay? There's also, under the same heading, a loan. So it's the EIDL loan. And in that case, if you are a nonprofit, your interest rate is going to be 2.75. If you're a small business, it's going to be 3.75. And that can be used for a number of different things. However, it is limited to what it can be used for. Now, a lot of people have heard about the forgivable loan, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, otherwise known as PPP, okay? That's the one that is probably going to be the most desirable because it's forgivable under some certain circumstances. So the way that all of this works is that these things are going to start being processed April 3rd by private lenders. And you can actually go online right now and fill out some information, but there's going to be a lot of third-party lenders that are doing these loans, and there's not going to be fees associated with that. So what the PPP does is you have to look at your payroll from January 31st of this year back to January 31st of last year, and then whatever that average is, they're going to give 250% of that. So they'll give you a lot more than you actually paid on payroll. As long as you don't let people go or you don't reduce their salaries, it's going to be forgivable. It could be 100% forgivable as long as 75% of it is used for the payroll. Whatever you use for payroll should be able to be forgiven. Now, the other things you can use that money for is going to be rent, utilities, 401k matches, payroll, and then mortgage interest rates. So if you rent your office building or your office condo or whatever, and your monthly mortgage payment is $1,000, but 800 of that goes towards the principal and 200 of it goes towards the interest, the only thing you can reduce is the 200 towards the interest. So they're not going to really help you pay down your mortgage during these times. But what they're going to do is they're going to look between, you have 10 weeks. They're going to do it for 10 weeks of your pay periods, trying to cover that amount, up to $100,000 for an employee, if that's their annual salary. And again, if you reduce your employees or you give them cuts, like maybe, hey, we'll have to keep everybody on, but you're not going to earn 2/3 of what you were earning last year at this time, or January at this time, you're going to be penalized for that by the percentage that is being reduced, and that's what won't be forgiven. So there's a couple of other things. So what constitutes a small business? So a small business is defined as a company that it can actually be a sole proprietor. It can be a number of different things, nonprofit, for-profit, as long as there are less than 500 employees or the gross income is 7 million. So for most small businesses, they do fall under that category. So it's really going to be helpful for those entities to try to keep things, they want to keep doors open and they want to keep employees still employed so that when all this is over, they have a job and the whole system isn't completely disrupted, if that's even possible. But this is for the preliminary information. There's going to be more that comes out as people get approved, different little things that we hear about, but those are the basics. So there are 3 different ways to try to get money as a small business owner. Make sure that you talk to your small business banker and figure out what's best suited for you. And once you get those things, what the requirements are, if you do want to try to get them forgiven, which I'm sure most people would want that if they could be eligible for it. You just don't want to mess it up by letting people go or different things like that. So stay well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.